Hey everybody, Mark Bazinski here from Tried It For You, and it's been a wild ride for the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of videos. I've done a lot of, I wouldn't say soul searching, but a lot of thinking about what's been going on lately. And I put out a lot of ads through Facebook, posts on Facebook, and it's amazing on what people will do or say just to try and make you look bad. They don't even know who the hell you are. But you make a small ad, you make small comments, or you make, hell, even if you make big comments. But I mean, good Lord, people have nothing better to do but complain about what other people are doing versus worrying about themselves. It's amazing. I've always known this is the fact, but it's some people will go out of their way to try and make comments about a person they don't even know about. Hell, even people who think they know you will make comments about it, about what you're doing, what you're saying, whether they agree with it or not. I mean, it's definitely an amazing thing. I mean, seriously, if you must be really sad person in your own life that you have got to comment on somebody else's pages. You've got to try and bring them down to make yourself feel better. I mean, how bad does your life have to be that you've got to tear other people down? I mean, there's a thing called positive feedback and negative feedback. I've given lots of positive feedback to people that have needed it, because the worst thing that you can do for somebody is to allow them to continue floundering around through life, making the same mistakes over and over and over, and not at the very least telling them where they are making those mistakes. And if they are not open to that feedback, whether it is positive or if it's negative feedback, if they're not open to it, then they will continue leading the life that they are currently at. Most people walk around in this world thinking that there can't be anything better. They hope that there's something better, but they don't do anything about what they need to do to make things better. They do the same thing over and over, day in, day out, without thinking about how things could be significantly or can be significantly improved within their own lives. So instead of looking at their own lives and what's wrong with it, it's very easy to point to somebody else and say, look, I'm not as bad as they are. I mean, he's really bad. I mean, they're really screwed up. So that's one of the biggest problems with social media. It's very easy to tear a person down, and because you can hide behind it and not have to worry about the consequences of it sometimes. But that's why people utilize social media for a lot of things. They go on and they look at somebody else who doesn't agree with what they're saying, what they're doing, and will berate them for it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It happens. It does. I've fallen victim to that. Not proud of it, not in the least bit. Makes you wonder whether or not what you're doing is really worth it. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I've had many different jobs in my life. And when it gets to a point where you are feeling stuck, not being able to move forward, then yeah, maybe it's time to think about moving on. But where I'm at now, it's just there's a lot more that I can do. Is I just need to figure out what it is going to take to be able to move forward. I just don't know how to do that. I kind of do, but I know what I need to do to make that leap, to make that change. It's just that people around me, are they open to open to it? I don't know. Not much else I can do about it. I mean, I know where my flaws are at. I recognize them. I own them, and I try to work past them. There are people within my social group that has a hard time getting past that. Excuse me. Just got done eating, but yeah, there's this group that I've been working with, Entra. Man. So the first time went out, 72 people, some of the best 72 people I've ever known. That was for Impact. Then I went again for the trilogy, completion of the trilogy, and that was Influence. 68 of some of the finest people that you could ever know. They are more concerned about helping others, making life better for everybody else, and not just for themselves. Happens to be a consequence of what they're doing, what we are doing. I mean, just for my own channel. I mean, emergency preparedness. How many people out there are concerned with emergency preparedness? Not many. Unless you work in an industry where that's what they talk about, being prepared for an emergency. I mean, how to use a fire extinguisher, what to do in the case of a fire, if there's a rapid depressurization, what are you supposed to do? Somebody gets hurt, how are you supposed to react? I've done first aid, advanced first aid, CPR, that type of stuff. You learn that stuff when you work in the chemical industry, any kind of manufacturing industry. People are taught these things. So, but it's not what people at home get. I mean, that's what I'm trying to teach other people. And it seems to be working pretty good. I mean, 3,200, almost 3,300 people in my group. And every single one of those people are adding to the content to teach other people how to do what we do, how to live a decent life, how to become self-sufficient, how to enrich their pocketbooks, how to enrich their families, how to make themselves more healthy. All of these things are connected. So how do you get other people to believe in that? I don't know. You have to show them that when you talk the talk, you walk the walk. So, building a business, getting my health into shape, taking care of my mother, taking care of the people around me. I mean, work is work, and the people that are directly surrounded around me, I know what their capabilities are. I do the very best I can to help grow them to where I believe I am at, provided that they're open to that growth, can't force it on people. They either like the way they're doing things, or they've gotten to a point where they've done it for so long that they're just not, they don't know how to move beyond where they're currently at. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Some people are happy with the way things are. I have never been one to maintain the status quo. I get comfortable in a position or where I'm at in my life, and it gets boring. Time to move on. Time to do something different. Time to challenge myself. If I'm not being challenged, then I mean, life becomes boring. I mean, you go to work, you come home, sit down, you watch TV, you go to bed, you go to work, come home, you sit down, watch TV, or you play video games or whatever it is that you do. If you're not building yourself up, if you're not making yourself better, then what is it that do you believe that you've been put on this planet for? Most people will never know what that is, where their destiny is, or what their purpose is within life. And I'm not the one to just sit around and wait for something to happen. I either make it happen, or it comes to me. So that's the type of person I am. And if that direction has me going someplace else, then that's just what happens. I go with the flow. I've always been somebody who's looking for the next best thing, things to be better. There's quite a few people out there, they're just fine with the monotony of their day in and day out. They work towards the ability to earn enough money so that they can get to the end of their life and die. How boring is that? Like I said, it's for some people. It's just not for Mark. So, anyways, just a little bit of a rambling. Just some things I was thinking about lately. It's just makes you wonder where everybody else's head is at. I can't speculate for them. I know what Mark wants. Hell, sometimes Mark doesn't know what he wants, but what he does know is that he's not willing to just wait for things to happen. They just either, like I said, their things are progressing towards something up in front, or he's going to go find something to do. So, and when there's that point, not even there yet. There's so much more to do where I'm at, but if I get to a point where I find that I've become too comfortable, it's time to move on. It's not there yet. Definitely not there. There's a lot to do. There is a lot to do in where I'm currently at. So, but we'll see how the future brings. Anyways, you guys take care of yourself. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll have something for you at the end of the week. Well, that's Friday, tomorrow. Take care of yourself.